am worried that even with the change, it won't do enough. It's interesting, a lot of teams are conflicted as well because trying their best to win games, and even their fans and even the media in their market will be saying, what are you doing? That's not the best strategy.
I'm not playing. This is not a joke to me. And to have people have this blasé attitude towards what we're witnessing is incredibly alarming to me. And I'm saying, yo, the level of competition, you know, competitive fervor, and all of that comes with it, I had been stripped of.
Hey, I'm going to take 8 games off this year to try to stay healthy. You know, like that to you is comical, right, to do that.
What the hell is that, man? I don't know what that is. That's crazy. You got a lot of people playing their hard-earned money to come watch you perform. And as a competitor, I'm not ducking.
Be competitive. We don't want to have four good teams. I want to see competitive games.
Two-year no yields went from 190 to 166.
Welcome everyone to the XBA and NBA 2K. I am your host, GG9, otherwise known as Gold Glover 9. You can call me Goldie. You got 3 names to choose from. This is my brother.
Hello there.
And we created 36 relocation teams for the purpose of creating a new league, the XBA, the Extreme Basketball Association. For those of you guys that are new to this channel, welcome. If you have not checked out the other content on the channel, I urge you to do that. If you really feel like this is something that you're going to be into, we do have other created team type of dynasties and franchises going with the Big 12 Team Builder Dynasty. We have over 120 plus created teams for that series, and we just love Team Builder when it was actually working, and we wanted to apply something like this with NBA. Extremely cool, extremely fun. So that's really just kind of about us, and of course any other series that you guys find interested in, please check it out, consider subscribing, and of course hit that like button and turn the notification bell on.
This was crazy. This has been a month in the making. We were thinking about doing this last winter, but we were a little bit late to the party with 2K, so we waited until 2K20 here. It's fun to see it actually happen, and I hope you guys already have seen some of your favorite teams, and we'll talk about those guys in a minute. Yeah, so let's talk about the NBA a little bit as it stands. Right now, this has been the most excited that fans have been about the NBA in a long time, so we picked a bad point in history to kind of make fun of the super team concept. It's been broken up a little bit, but you still have these pockets, you know, you have these dynamic duo teams, and I feel like the NBA gets a bad rap because, I mean, you look at the rest of the sports landscape. I mean, you guys ever heard of the New England Patriots or the Boston Red Sox or the Yankees or the Penguins or the, you know, I mean, look at the NHL, the teams that win the cup every year. It's like the same 4 teams the last 12 years or something stupid like that. NBA, this is not a unique issue for the NBA, but what we wanted to do was just level it out, level the entire playing field out. We got 36 teams, and we want to spread the love and make a truly competitive basketball league. There's no tanking. Tanking makes no sense in the immediate term in this format that we'll talk about. Low management makes no sense in this format because you're gonna have to fight and scrap every night
for every single W that you could possibly get.
And we're also gonna try to foster a competitive environment for even the smaller franchises. So we'll talk about all that, and we want to bring defense back. We want to, you know, a little more defensive attitude going on. So this is basically we're remaking the NBA the way that we kind of want to see it in our own fantasy world. But we'll have fun. This will be a fun league, and we're excited.
That's something that you have to keep in mind as well. This is obviously just for fun. It's a very fantasy-esque type of setting, so put your imagination caps on and have some fun with it. If you're coming here for a serious type of thing, might not be your take. But this is kind of a nice break, to break away from that realistic thing and go with something a little bit fun and imaginative.
So let's introduce the teams. What I really like to is wherever you guys are at, in the United States or even Canada, I hope you guys have a local team that you can appreciate and latch your bandwagon to. And if not, just pick a team that you like their jerseys or their logo or whatever. So let's start with the Western Conference. We got the Northwest Division. We have the Vancouver Vortex, the Denver Summit, the California Dragons, stationed out of San Francisco, the San Jose Cyborgs, the Seattle Martians, and the Alaska Chills. So yes, Anchorage professional sports are coming to the state of Alaska. Heading down the coast a little bit, in the Pacific Division, we have the Los Angeles Leopards, the SoCal Supernovas, who play out of Anaheim, but they do go by SoCal, the San Diego Cyclones, the Las Vegas Jacks, the Phoenix Monsters, named after the local Gila monster, and one of my favorite teams, the El Paso Peppers. So I hope you guys like the team so far. The Southwest Division consists of the New Orleans Neptunes, the Dallas Barons, the Kansas City Stampede, the Houston Lawmen, because Marshals, Rangers, got to do something different, right?
This is the Extreme Basketball Association.
Yeah.
Got to get a little bit crazy.
The St. Louis Arrows, as soon as you say that, we go classy 60s style, and the Wisconsin Bandits, who I nearly named the Wisconsin Cheddar, but you vetoed me that.
Yeah, executive management. Yep. Turning the page to the Eastern Conference, we're going to start with the Atlantic Division, and we have two New York teams, one being from the Bronx, that is the New York City Slickers, and then the other, the New York Neon, playing in Manhattan. In Montreal, just a little bit north and out of the country, we're going to go with Montreal and the Gothiques.
Or Gothics if you're American, but Gothique.
Oh,
French.
with that French take. Boston, with the Boston Pilgrims, going with a very, very extreme retro look. And then we have the Philadelphia Bruisers, as well as the Baltimore Cannons. So that's going to round out the Atlantic. In the Southeast, we have the Atlanta Olympians, the Miami Night Owls, the Carolina Fly Guys, Tampa Bay Sting, Washington Founders, and the Jacksonville Jump. One of my favorite logos. Again, we have a lot of favorite logos, but that one was a really good one.
Yes, and most of these were commissioned. We made a couple of them, but we did have most of these commissioned. Professional, freelancers, people that know what they're doing.
Going to the Central Division, we have the Detroit Power, the Nashville Tempo, go Tempo, they're my last team in NBA 2K19, BC Chicago.
They're copying off of all that soccer fad.
But their name is it's Chicago.
It's Basketball Club Chicago.
Columbus Basket Hounds, one of my favorite logos. The Kentucky Colliers,
courtesy of Bryant Street.
And then the Pittsburgh Paladins. It's one of my favorite logos right there.
I hope you guys like the teams. It should be a lot of fun. And if you do like the teams, we have set up an apparel shop. So we have t-shirts, hoodies, mugs, etc. Different colors. So just click on the team's logo and then you can get into that section, as you see on the screen there. So I hope you guys can navigate your way around that site. Link in the description.
And post in the comment section which team that you are automatically a fan of. Obviously, you guys don't know the rosters quite yet, but post in the comment section below who you are liking so far. We would love to know that.
Now, after all this, you guys got to be wondering, we are going to pick our two teams. So, sir, who will you select? What's going to be your team for this series?
I may have listed off the Eastern Conference, but I'm going to go in the Western Conference, and out of all of these Extreme Basketball Association teams that are kind of little out there, I'm going to go with the St. Louis Arrows. I'm going to stick to my traditional type of roots, being the baseball guy that I am. I'm going to go with the St. Louis Arrows. I just love their colors. I love the uniform set. I think that's who I'm going to be.
Okay, now my selection will have to, of course, naturally be in the Eastern Conference, and I hope you guys aren't disappointed. I will be the Jacksonville Jump, the Frogs.
I mean, look at that.
I mean, he's my guy. He's my guy. I like frogs. So the Jacksonville Jump will be the team. We got Jacksonville, St. Louis. So I hope you guys approve. I hope you guys are happy. But we will obviously be incorporating all of these teams in various ways. Like, we're gonna have like Sports Center highlights, kind of quick cuts. We're gonna have contests and games for you guys. Keep it interesting for the whole season, and obviously the postseason. If your team is a CPU team, you guys should be well represented and well taken care of. League rules are defense. We want defense back into the league. and it's going to be hard to set up sliders or rules, but we are going to have kind of defense-centric sliders, you know, all the hand checking and all this stuff that people are talking about. I just feel like NBA scoring is way too out of whack, so we're going to also reduce the quarter length as well. It's going to be 10 minutes per quarter, so it's going to be more reflective of a college basketball type of format. Now, the fantasy draft. So how will the players be selected? They will be according to the metro area population in ascending order. So the lowest populated areas select first, so they get the star power. The XBA does not care about money. It's all about basketball. It's all about fun, extreme fun. So the superstars are going to the smallest cities, and then it will snake all the way back around. So you guys see the draft order on the screen.
We have the Alaska Chill going first, Peppers, Neptunes, Colliers, Fly Guys that are based in Raleigh. Of course, that has bumped them upward in the
versus Charlotte
ranking.
Yeah. Yep. We're going to select 6th in Jacksonville, and then you guys see the draft order all the way down to the 2 New York teams. It will go the Neon and City Slickers, and then round 2, it will reverse. So the City Slickers pick first in the second round. Alaska will pick last. It's going to be the most fair way to do it. We're hoping it creates for a balanced league. So we will be selecting the players, and I hope you guys are cool with that, because if we just let the CPU do it, then they're going to undervalue some players like a Zion Williamson, and they go strictly off of overall ranking. So that sets up the strategy debate.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. It's that debate on if you are running your franchise, at some point, when is Zion going to get taken? Are you going to be the team that takes a chance on him over a guy like maybe, what would you say?
Like Jokic. Like you're gonna pick Zion, or like Zion might be the next LeBron.
It's he could easily also not be that guy. So there's a lot of risk that's involved in the strategy, and of course how you build around that first round talent, and that first round pick is also part of the strategy as well. Are you gonna strictly go after guards first? Are you gonna be big? Or what's your team identity gonna be? So it's gonna be really cool to see how the teams get formulated and what their strategy is gonna be.
Yes. So also more ground rules. Salary cap has been increased slightly, but every player in the first round will be automatically signed to a 5-year contract. Anybody outside of the first round can max out at 3 years, although you can, after a certain point, extend people or whatnot. First round players, though, all get the max 5 years. Rookies are also eligible for 5 years. So let's talk about the eligible players. Rookies. Anybody at the age of 17 can apply to enter the XBA draft. So James Wiseman, Cole Anthony, Anthony Edwards, Killian Hayes, Isaiah Stewart, these guys are all in this draft pool. So that's another interesting thought. Like, where do you want to pick these guys? I mean, they're raw. They're very raw. They haven't even played college basketball yet. So they're eligible, which leads me to my next point quickly. You guys are free to submit custom players right now in the comment section. So if you guys want to submit people for our draft class for the next upcoming season, you guys can enter them in the comments, and we'll have a format for you guys to help you fill that out. So with all the hype and the buzz coming around this league, there are a lot of guys who want a piece of the action, who have been out of the limelight, and they're coming back. These guys are coming back, man. Dwayne Wade, not 1 year after he was retired, he's back. Dirk Nowitzki's coming back. You see Kobe on the screen, taken to Twitter. Yao Ming is healthy. His calves or his ankle or whatever was bothering him, he's good to go. Freaking Kevin Garnett's coming back.
Paul Pierce.
Oh man, this is gonna be crazy. Tony Parker's back. You know, there's a lot of job openings out there. We got 6 new teams, and you get 15 players on a roster. A lot of job openings.
The top tier guys from the Euro League are also interested. Kostas Sloukas, all those guys are coming back. They're actually coming over to the XBA thinking that, hey, we're finally going to get a chance here rather than just be sitting on a bench for an NBA roster. I get to play.
Yeah, you got Nando Del Colo, Nikola Mirotic is back in the NBA, Facundo Campazzo. I love this dude. I watched him play Argentina the last couple years, Olympics and stuff like that. This guy's pretty good. Got some guys coming over from the Euro League. Very unique set of players. Very unique pool of players to be in the XBA draft.
All right, guys, so now it's time to go over the draft results for round number 1. This is just to keep things brief and very concise. We'll end up showing you guys the rosters in entirety from all the rounds at the very end of once we go over round number 1. So kicking things off, Alaska Chill are going first, and they have selected Giannis, the Greek alphabet.
Antetokounmpo.
I
did okay there.
Deal.
Interesting call, number 1 overall. The debate's going to be Kawhi Leonard or Giannis, maybe. El Paso, though, will select James Harden over Kawhi Leonard, which is a tough call. I mean, they must want the offense. They must want the points. So obviously going 3rd overall will be Kawhi Leonard, finally off the board. lot of people say he's the best in the NBA. The Neptunes might get him at a discount here at 3rd overall. Kentucky picks 4th. They select Anthony Davis, so they're going defense and big man 4th.
They want a guy that's going to work hard down in the trenches, somebody that's going to believe in what the city believes in, and that blue collar type of mentality. And that leaves the Carolina Fly Guys going with the slam dunk man, LeBron James. It was going to be kind of cool to see him throw down in a Fly Guy uniform.
Yeah, interesting call there. I mean, you got kind of wondered where LeBron would go, because I mean, he's in his mid-30s right now, breaking into his mid-30s. Like, are you going to pick him over some of these younger guys? Obviously, he's in great shape. Does he have 3 or 4 elite years left in him? Carolina obviously thinks so. Jacksonville Jump come next, and we will select Steph Curry, which is also a little different. A lot of people are probably going to say Kevin Durant right there. Steph's a bit older too. I mean, he's on the wrong side, 30 at this point, but obviously he's an elite shooter and creates all sorts of stuff offensively, moving the ball around, and he draws so much defense.
And you like to shoot the 3 ball in 2K basketball games, so that's going to be a good fit. Wisconsin Bandits select center Joel Embiid, and some people might think, you know, hey, Kevin Durant's still on the board, why not take him? The Bandits seem to like Joel Embiid's potential and his upside versus Durant's age and his injury issues. And next up, we have the Nashville Tempo taking a chance on Kevin Durant. So they obviously feel like if getting Kevin Durant on your team, they're going to be in a win now mode.
San Jose picks next. They select Paul George, possible MVP type threat. And the next selection to Columbus, the Basket Hounds take Zion Williamson.
Bum, bum, bum.
So let me know if you guys think this is realistic. I could see Zion in a fantasy draft, the entire NBA. I could see him in the top 10 borderline, because you're picking upside and you think that Zion's going to come in right away, at least be a good player right away, morph into an elite player. Let me know what you guys think about that selection. Kansas City then takes Luka Doncic right there. Next pickup, Las Vegas Jacks go with the big man, Nikola Jokic.
Pittsburgh Paladins are going to take Karl Anthony Towns, and the Vancouver Vortex going with Damian Lillard.
Okay, Baltimore with the shooter, Klay Thompson. And now the next pick, you are up, sir. Who
Yeah.
are you going to take?
The St. Louis Arrows are going to go with upside and good player right now. We're going to take Donovan Mitchell. I love this player. I think he's going to be something special for a long time to come. He's going to be a great player to build around. There's players up on the board like Westbrook, Irving. I mean, all these guys like Kemba Walker. I really like Donovan Mitchell. I'm going to stick with the young guy who's good right now.
You and your well-balanced players.
I
You're
know.
all about that stuff.
I love balance.
Next up will be the Denver Summit selecting Ben Simmons. They're going to have to coach him how to shoot a jump shot. Everybody makes fun of him for that. I think he can figure it out. Going next, the Tampa Bay Sting. Finally, Kyrie Irving's off the board. Tampa Bay is going to entrust him with the offense. And then next up, San Diego Cyclones take Russell Westbrook. So I think I saw Westbrook's shooting's been a little bit in decline, like the 3-point thing, but they still think he can be that hustle player, the triple-double and the passing and all that good stuff.
Yeah, Westbrook can do everything. He can do it all. I wanted him in St. Louis, but then I started thinking like what we had talked about was that the age thing is a factor.
Okay, the Seattle Martians select Kristaps Porzingis, the big man. Montreal selects Rudy Gobert. Go figure. He won't have to.
Go figure that.
Won't need to speak English in
Rudy
Montreal.
Gobert.
Really.
Next up, the Detroit Power are going to go with Bradley Beal.
San Francisco Dragons go with Kemba Walker to run point guard. Phoenix will then select Devin Booker, so he doesn't even have to move.
Yeah, he's probably one of the only players to say, hey, I can keep my house where it's at.
Awesome. That is one of the downsides of this league. Unfortunately, these multimillionaires will have to relocate temporarily. It's just one of those things. Boston Pilgrims, kind of surprising. They go Draymond Green. So you can already tell Boston's thinking win now, championship pedigree. They want to win off the bat. You know, Draymond, you could have gone offense there. They go defense though. So they think that it's going to be a tougher league in this new setup. Jimmy Butler goes next to the Atlanta Olympians. And then Philadelphia gets the young guy, De'Aaron Fox, who a lot of people think is going to become elite pretty soon.
Miami Night Owls are going to take Jason Tatum, and that's actually a pretty cool selection there. So they kind of went with the mentality that I had in taking a young player that's good right now. And yeah, they're going to go with Jason Tatum, and he's going to be a good one for quite some time for the Night Owls. The Washington Founders are next, and they're going to take DeMar DeRozan. So they want some well-balanced play as well. The Houston Lawmen taking CJ McCollum, so they're probably thinking offense, 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 which is kind of an interesting way to look when you're down deep right here.
Dallas is going to go with the upside pick here in Trey Young, who everybody thought was terrible, was a bust his first few weeks in the NBA, and then the light bulb went off. BC Chicago selects Victor Oladipo, another guy that's just like does everything
steady
well. D'Angelo Russell going to the SoCal Supernovas. He's going to live it up there in Anaheim, go to Disneyland. Los Angeles Leopards go with Jamal Murray. I like Jamal Murray a lot. I feel like people still don't even talk about him, but he's like, was he like 22?
He's pretty young.
I mean, geez. New York Neon then select the veteran, Tobias Harris, well-rounded. I mean, a good scorer, and he's going to have to be the captain of this team. And then the final pick in the first round, New York City Slickers take Pascal Siakam. Everybody thinks he's going to make a big leap this year, so maybe the City Slickers got a good deal there on Siakam.
All right, so that's going to do it for round number 1. Now, next up, guys, we're going to be talking about the rosters as a whole, so you will not see the results of the rest of the draft round by round, but you will see the end result of what each team is going to look like. So let's get right into that.
So I hope it's all balanced. I hope everybody's happy with how they turned out, and let us know which teams that you like. Let us know what rosters that you're liking at the conclusion of this part.
And once we're done with it too, post in the comment section below what team that you think is going to be the one to watch out for. What's your playoff team? What's your NBA champion? We'd love to know that preseason. All right, let's take a look at the St. Louis Arrows, which would be my team, yours truly, the GG9 team. We got Monte Morris at the point guard position. He's not looking for him to do a whole lot. He's mostly just going to be a distributor type of player.
Well, this will be his first starting role, if I'm not mistaken. So you're trusting your franchise in the hands of an unproven point guard. Donovan Mitchell can do it all. You got Richardson, who's a valuable contributor, and then Julius Randle is going to have to be Donovan Mitchell's main sidekick here.
Yeah, he's going to be the down low post type of guy. We've also got Mohamed Bamba, just in case that Julius Randle doesn't pick up the slack. So we've got 2 big men plus a good guy like Josh Richardson. I like the way that our team looks, our starting 5 looks. As far as the bench goes, we did get Dwayne Wade, so the savvy veteran coming back from retirement. Didn't last too long, but he's going to help these young guys learn how to win the championship way. Then we got Willie Hernan-Gomez to back up Mo Bamba at the center position. We're taking a shot here at Nasir Little as our rookie, and David Nwaba, a defensive specialist. Tyus Jones is the backup to Monte Morris. So we're not putting a whole lot of stock into our point guards.
This is a nifty little team that we have constructed here in Jacksonville. So we took Steph Curry, obviously, and then we had Kobe Bryant, who we drafted fairly early. 5th round or 4th round, we were able to get Kobe. So, I mean, we're hoping, it might be a little bit of a reach, but we're hoping that he still remembers how to score and he can team up with Curry, and this will be a dynamic scoring tandem.
So all the kids out there in Jacksonville, they're going to be playing hoops with each other, and they're going to be shooting, and then instead of saying Kobe, they can say Curry, and now you've got them both on the same team. So it's
brilliant.
It's a 1-2 punch that I would actually love to see in NBA in real life, but that's never going to happen.
Even
again.
Old Kobe Bryant?
Even old Kobe Bryant.
Years out of the league?
I would still love to see it.
Okay. Otto Porter will be our small forward. We got Jeremy Grant, who's an athletic power forward. Yusuf Nurkic, we're hoping for blocks, rebounds, and defense, although he can score at times. And then Ed Davis, who's always been a valuable contributor. And then Harry Giles, who we like moving forward a little bit. So we got 4 big guys that I like and who can contribute right away. Nando De Colo will be the backup point guard for us, and he's not going to be able to shoot as much as Steph. He's going to be more passing it around. Got Anunoby. Took a chance on a young guy, Killian Hayes, to learn from the veteran Steph Curry. And then we also have Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Langston Galloway for a veteran, and Patrick McCaw has got that championship pedigree playing with the Warriors, maybe.
Maybe one of the more underrated teams in the XBA, but I really like what Philadelphia is doing with their roster. They got De'Aaron Fox, who's one of the premier point guards in the game right now, Avery Bradley at shooting guard, Oubre Jr., Derek Favors, the veteran, and then Miles Turner, who's got a lot of upside. Plus, those uniforms are so cool. They're going to be looking good out there.
You got Sarge for offense at power forward, so Favors maybe more defensive-minded. Sarge can come in and get some baskets. Like, you got the Chandlers here, Wilson and Tyson. So, You got a lot of veteran presence with Dellavedova as well, Terrence Jones, Brandon Knight even, Nico Mannion, the young point guard. Let's check out the Baltimore Cannons, and I think this is a team that's going to be able to score in their backcourt. I mean, you got Rose, Klay Thompson, and LeVert all shooting threes and scoring. And then you got Marvin Williams, who's a veteran at power forward, and Horford bringing the defense, kind of lock down some people at center. So
yeah, and Al Horford can score too. I mean, he's no slouch there either. And Doug McDermott coming off the bench, especially as a sixth man, who's going to be able to shoot threes all over.
Yeah, Hollis Jefferson. They did draft James Wiseman, supposed to be from Memphis, but not really in this universe. He just went straight to the XBA out of high school. You got Teodosic, Muscala, Dwayne Bacon, Trendon Watford's another one of those young guys. So this team might be well-rounded enough.
My beloved Nashville Tempo. Pretty interesting. I would not have taken Goran Dragic here, but they did anyway, and they're going to rely on him to run the offense. They've got Beasley, Durant, Marcus Morris, Valanciunas, Austin Rivers. It's a good team. It's a pretty good team.
Yeah, and you know they have a little bit of age on this team, but
yeah.
I mean, do have some guys like Okafor who they think could develop into something. Glenn Robinson, Sterling Brown, so they can score. They got Lawyer for defense. Johnson's young. Javon Carter is improving. BC Chicago, picking near the tail end of the first round, will team up Drew Holiday and Victor Oladipo. So this is a pretty solid combo here. I think they do a lot of things well, and Holiday can score. And then they also have DeMar Carroll, Rudy Gay, and Mitchell Robinson. So this seems like a very well-balanced starting five to me. Kelly Olynyk and Robin Lopez. So they have some depth at power forward and center. Yogi Ferrell, along with Corey Joseph, Stauskas for 3 balls. Jaren Grant's always been effective. Ennis can play defense. So I like what I'm seeing out of Chicago.
The Columbus Basket Hounds are a pretty interesting roster. I really feel like they're one of the more interesting teams to have formed from this XBA draft, this fantasy draft. They got Derek White at point guard, RJ Barrett teaming up with Zion. So 2 Dukies as rookies are teaming up together. And then Will Barton, Montrezl Harrell.
You know what, though? They didn't totally forsake the present for the future. Like, this is a team that still feels like they can compete. They know that maybe they're not going to be one of the favorites in this league off the bat, but they're banking that Barrett and Zion become great. But in the meantime, they still have guys like Harrell and White who are kind of, they're still young. They're in their mid-20s. So, but they do have veterans like Etuan Moore and Noah. They want Noah to kind of teach Zion how to play a little bit. Tyler Harrow as well. Raymond Felton's older. Isaiah Stewart, super young. So this team is like all over the place.
It's a
very weird
bag.
mix.
It's a mixed bag.
Yeah.
I like what they're doing though. They are looking at Udonis Haslem. They're looking at Felton. All these veterans are kind of going to be able to mold Zion to have a little bit of everything.
Boston is a very demanding fan base, okay? And they want championships. They're spoiled, okay? With the Patriots and the Red Sox. So, I mean, this management crew here in Boston just said, let's go win this thing. We're going to get Chris Paul. We're going to get Draymond Green. We're even going to get Manu out of retirement. So these guys, except for Chris Paul, all have championship pedigree. Joe Harris is going to knock the 3 balls down, and then you got a young piece in Jared Allen to build around. So they're looking to win the title this year. No questions.
Yeah, I like the addition of Jared Allen to try to get at least one young guy in this roster. I mean, we look at like DeLon Wright is probably one of their other young players here, and then Dedmon's a little bit older. Ilyasova is older. Samuel Williamson's young.
Yeah, so
Grayson Allen's pretty young.
They got some pieces that they're going to be able to use in the future. But yeah, their top core, though, will be going for all the marbles. This is another roster that I really like. You see Jamal Murray there with Andrew Wiggins, DeAndre Hunter, Blake Griffin. So if Blake can stay healthy, I think he is going to make a very good combination with Jamal Murray. And then they got Daniel Tice at center. So what do you think about the Leopards here?
I like Patty Mills. I like the veteran presence that they've got with him, Tice, and Griffin.
Jackson Hayes.
Jackson Hayes. I like the balance between youth and veteran presence that they have. Andrew Wiggins, Jamal Murray. I think that twosome right there is going to be a good one for a while.
Yeah.
So they got a good thing going. Romeo Langford.
Whoa, check out those road unis. First time we've seen those for Pittsburgh. Now they are going to roll with Spencer Dinwiddie at the point and play Brogdon at shooting guard. So I don't know if that's a great idea. I mean, I don't know. Brogdon seems like, to me, point guard to me. But, I mean, if they have Dinwiddie, they want him to play point guard.
Yeah.
They want them both on the floor, so that's how they're going to try to do it. Miles Bridges, along with Jordan Bell, and Karl Anthony Towns will be leading this crew. So, what do you think here? You got Cam Reddish picking up minutes, too. What do you think about the Paladins here?
It's a well-balanced roster. That's for sure. I would think that they're not going to be one of the better teams, but I could easily be proven wrong there. So, a part of me in my gut's telling me don't sleep on the Paladins, even though their roster doesn't look like it's going to be ready to win now.
What do you think about the Olympians here? They picked up John Wall in round 2 to team him up with Jimmy Butler. Do you think this combination is going to be effective?
My gut is telling me yes, that it's going to work. But my mind and my head, my common sense saying no. Because Jimmy Butler, for whatever reason, has never been able to get it done. John Wall has never been able to get it done. So maybe if you actually do pair two guys up that have never been able to get it done, maybe they actually have a working relationship that works. But they're going to be asked, here's the thing, they're going to be asked, both of those guys are going to be asked to do everything for this offense. And
yeah, I mean,
that's the big thing.
Forbes and, Mirotic is an offensive threat. Wendell Carter's still developing, but they have Gerald Green, veteran there. Alfred Payton will be the backup point guard. Udo will be the backup center for this team. Cephalosha is still playing.
Yeah,
so,
good 3-ball hitter.
Josh Green. So Jordan Poole. Labissiere, and so I don't know. It's a decent roster. I think they might be able to figure it out.
It's a two-man show. This might be one of the best teams in the NBA. No joke here. We got Ricky Rubio being the distributor guy. Dion Waiters can hit threes. Tatum is young and he's good. Pairing that up with the veteran presence for Nowitzki and Vooch, like they've got everything going on for them right now with this roster.
Yeah, Vucevic, they're gonna get a lot of defensive production at center, and Nowitzki can shoot, obviously, and Tatum is a do-it-all guy, and then Rubio is gonna distribute. So everybody has a role on this team, it looks like to me. And then they got Kaminsky, they got Wayne Ellington, Jeremy Lin will be the backup point guard. You got Hashimura, who can grow into a role, and then this dude out of Lithuania, Mantas Kalnietis, I think.
That was actually pretty good. That was a really good attempt.
It's worth a shot. So,
I don't even know if you're right or not.
I don't know if they have the depth on the bench. Schofield, Elise Johnson, and Shake Milton.
Doesn't this feel like a roster that LeBron James would get frustrated with?
Yes, because you got Jeff Teague, Tyreek Evans, who all, they have their moments, but if LeBron is expecting them to play at an elite level and not screw anything up, he's probably got another thing coming. So they got Gallinari. DeAndre Jordan, I think LeBron would love to play with.
Yeah.
Because, he can box out and haul in boards like nobody's business. So they're going to have the bench here with Luke Kennard. They got Damian Jones, Czech Giallo, Mo Harkless.
Oh yeah, this is definitely a team that he would get frustrated with, especially with the bench. I could see once the bench starts coming in,
yeah,
you could just start scoring points all over him. I mean, this is
well, they have Cole Anthony, so that's a young guy that they're gonna have high hopes for, and that'll do it for the Fly guys. This roster looks sneaky good to me right now. I mean, you got Damian Lillard, who I don't want to say was stolen where Vancouver picked, but he dropped a little bit. I mean, some people thought probably would have gone higher. They're going to have Michael Bridges, Joe Ingles, LaMarcus Aldridge, who may have been a steal too, because nobody wanted him because of his age. And Vancouver said, okay, well, we'll take him.
Yeah, no, it's I think once they were able to take Aldridge, it was simply a win now mentality. I mean, if LaMarcus Aldridge has fallen to you where he was, based on everybody else's draft strategy, LaMarcus Aldridge sitting there, you got to take him. They did. You got an 88 overall player. I mean, this guy is going to be really good for the Vortex, and then you get Willie Cauley-Stein at center. Like, this team, plus Biyombo is a defensive guy, Roberson's a defensive guy, McConnell more offensive-minded.
Yeah, good point guard.
Beasley can do some things.
Tony Snell's all defense, too. So, Troy Daniels, the wily veteran, age 28. Yeah, so it's a sneaky good roster here in Vancouver. How do you feel about the Jacks? Do you think this roster is good enough to make a playoff push?
No.
Really?
Yep, I don't.
So you're not buying Dennis Smith? Not really?
I'm not really buying Bogdanovich and Portis.
Portis at power forward.
Yeah.
It's a weak link.
I think he's more of a center, but maybe it opens him up a little bit because he doesn't have to play center. He can actually start doing some more things on offense if he is that power forward.
Yeah.
Jokic holding that down at center, but Marcus Smart, he's good. He's pretty good. But isn't he? He's more of a defensive-minded guy anyway, right? I mean,
Steals but I like their bench. I mean, you
Crawford, Decker,
Isaiah Thomas, this dude whose name I can't even pronounce, from Latvia, I believe. You got DiVincenzo. They did get Bassi, and that guy, another name I can't pronounce. I'm not gonna try.
Yabusele.
Okay, I think you're right. I like this team's bench, I will say that. So New York here, picking at the end of the first round, they managed to get Bledsoe and Siakam. So how do you feel about this team? Are they deeper than the rest of the league? What do you think?
I think their starting five is good enough to win
The whole thing?
30 games.
Out of 70?
Out of 70, yeah. I think that they're a pretty good team. They're going to be a competitive team. There's nothing more New York than this type of roster. I don't know why.
They got LaMelo Ball.
They do have LaMelo Ball. They got a little bit of newsworthy players too, but Bledsoe is going to be the guy that's going to be doing everything here on offense. They've got Crabbe that can provide some points off the bench. But when I look at the roster, I just don't. It's kind of like what I saw with the Jacks. There's not enough there. Like, their starting five, Siakam's obviously really good. Barnes, he does some things, but he doesn't push you over the top. Yeah, he's 79, but he doesn't.
It's a deep league, man.
It is a deep league. It is. And with Looney as your center, they gotta have a better center. This is actually gonna be one of the more exciting teams to watch. I really feel like, with Ja Morant and Luka Doncic teaming up and playing on the same team. Like, holy cow, that's going to be really fun to watch. And then Korver shooting threes. You got Hassan Whiteside. You got Green. This team's going to be an offensive juggernaut.
Yeah, and they still have some good pieces on the bench. You got Hart. Paul Pierce is going to play for this Kansas City squad.
Nice.
Aaron Holiday. Dudley's been everywhere lately, it feels like. They got Thon Maker. They did draft Vernon Carey. So, Sindarius Thornwell, and then Sergio Llull, I believe is how you would say that. So, I don't know how I feel. Again, it's another tough call. I mean, they're going to need Morant to be spectacular off the bat.
D'Angelo Russell gets such a bad rap. He's so underrated. People just don't, from the circles that I talk to, nobody loves D'Angelo Russell. And he's really, really good. And with this SoCal Supernovas team paired with Jarrett Culver, Crowder, Collins, like, they're going to be pretty solid as well.
Yeah, it's a young core. They're banking on John Collins taking the next step and being really, really good. And then they even have Brook Lopez at center. So they got Vince Carter, veteran. They got Baines, Bazemore, Johnson, Korkmaz, Ntilikina, Magruder. So also a solid bench. And then, hey, there's Jimmer Fredette. He shows up, there he is. So Tampa Bay has a very Cleveland Cavaliers kind of vibe to them. Okay, you had Kyrie, right? Clarkson, and then Osman.
Yeah, and then you also have Kyle Kuzma, who played with LeBron James in LA. There's a LeBron Cleveland type of thing going on here, just some type of connection.
Dwight Howard even.
Yeah, Dwight Howard played in LA. What's going on with the Sting?
I don't know. Serge Ibaka will probably be the sixth man in this entire league. Okay, he's the best sixth man in this league, but I think they're going to play Osman here for, you know, maybe a little bit of offensive spark, but, you know, Kuzma can play that position as well. But they're going to put him on the floor starting power forward. You got Ivan Rabb, Norman Powell. They're going to pray that Markel Fultz gets healthy and can figure out how to shoot again. They got Demboya, the rookie, Batadze, the rookie, and then Akpala. So this is a young team here on the bench, and I kind of like what we're seeing. You and I both like Tampa.
Yeah, Tampa Bay is going to be a team to be reckoned with. I like the 1-2 punch that they have going on in Dallas with Trae Young and Jaren Jackson Jr. It's going to be a good one. We got Michael Porter Jr. as well. Fournier can be their shooter, along with Trae Young, Nerlens Noel, their defensive-minded guy. With Jaren Jackson, it's a very balanced starting five.
This is one of my favorite rosters right now going. It's one of my favorite starting fives anyway. Parker and Ariza, so they got veterans off the bench, and Zizic can play. You know, Brokoff can shoot. Scotty Lewis, they think, can be good in the future. So I think Dallas is pretty well set up for the near and long term.
We've seen a lot of good teams so far, but I think the New York Neon are like the top dogs just by looking at the roster. Mike Conley they got in the second round, JJ Redick, TJ Warren, Tobias Harris is going to be an offensive machine, then JaVale McGee at an 80.
So the whole starting lineup's 80. I don't think any other team in the league can say that.
Nope.
So, you know, there are a couple older guys, but I mean, it's pretty well balanced. So even like Jeff Green, Zach Collins is younger though, and Stanley Johnson, another veteran. Monroe is a veteran. Nick Young. You know, they like what they're seeing out of Caruso, Courtney Lee. You get draft RJ Hampton, who I'm moving there. He's gonna be active. He's a young dude. So, yeah, New York might be a threat to win the conference. So Denver, I'm looking at Denver's lineup right here, and I think they need some more offensive punch to them as far as shooting goes. Like Simmons, we know can score, but right now they have him at point guard, and they got Danny Green, Prince, Markkanen can shoot, and they're gonna have Gasol and the other Gasol. So they got two Gasols here.
Yeah, I would totally agree with you with the offensive analysis there. They don't really have a ton of oomph on offense. It's going to have to be defensive minded if they want to stay within games, and I don't even think they have a lot of defensive presence either.
So you don't like Denver?
I think they're going to struggle. It's going to have to be, when they say on that logo, Summit Basketball, it's going to have to be just that. They're going to have to play as a team night in and night out in order to win games.
Here's a sneaky team. I don't know if they're going to get a ton of love, but they're going to have Darius Garland start at point guard off the bat. So he played a handful of games in college, and he's coming into the pros, and this is his job here. So they got Landry Shamet, Ingram, Jabari Parker, and Anthony Davis, which is interesting. Anthony Davis and Brandon Ingram.
Oh, yeah. Good point.
They will have to learn how to play together.
Yeah, and the one thing that I like about this Kentucky Colliers team is the grind it type of attitude. They wanted a big-time center. They wanted a guy like that, and the offense is going to totally revolve around Anthony Davis. It's a blue-collar city, blue-collar town, blue-collar state. So maybe Kentucky embodies that and personifies that.
Yeah, they have Leonard Jerebko, Chris Dunn. So solid bench there, Wanamaker. You're gonna see what he can do. So I guarantee you, we don't know how the audience is gonna react to these teams. I don't think Kentucky's gonna get a lot of love. They might be able to prove everybody wrong.
The Neptunes look like a very weird assembled roster. It's just a really weird group of guys. You got Terrence Ross, Beverly, Kawhi, Marvin Bagley, Thomas Bryant. Like, it's kind of a weird group. Right?
Yeah, Bellinelli, Exum is, I like him as the backup point guard, and Kyle Anderson can mix in there. Naz Reid.
It can work. I just think that it's just kind of you look at the roster, you take a step back, and you're like, this is just weird. The Detroit Power are going to be a grind it out type of team. I can just feel it right now. Kyle Lowry, Bradley Beal, so they got the two offensive weapons there between Lowry and Beal. Josh Jackson, Thaddeus Young being more defensive-minded, and Boogie Cousins. I think they're just going to be that grind it type of team. They're going to try to do the same thing as the Colliers were doing with trying to have that persona, that defensive-minded, grit and grind type of persona. Denzel Valentine coming back home to Michigan.
Bench is a bit older.
Yep.
I need to see more offense. So either Macklemore has got to step up, or somebody's got to step up offensively for this team. I know Beal can score, but they need that a number 2 and a number 3 scorer kind of guy to really put them over the top. I don't know how I feel about Montreal. This might be one of the weaker rosters. I mean, just because they have to play Bertans, they have to start Bertans and Knox. I mean, they could move maybe Wesley Matthews in the lineup, Knox power forward, perhaps. But I mean, they went with Gobert first, so they go defense. Got to pair him up with Zach LaVine. So I think they need to rely on LaVine as the scoring threat for this team. And then you see the bench here: Finney Smith, Slukos, Tristan Thompson, Alec Burks. So bench is, just like every other team in the league, bench is okay. And so you look at Alaska, you're thinking freaky athletic here.
That's exactly the words I was going to say. Yeah, that's exactly it. You got Giannis. Lou Williams can just contort his body all over the place and make shots that you're like, whoa, okay.
Yeah.
Got some athleticism. Jonathan Isaac is obviously that. Dwight Powell down low at center. He's ready to take the next leap and be that starter, that guy that's right down low that can do the same thing. Play good defense, play good offense. I mean, this team is freaky athletic.
So Isaac, they want him playing a secondary position, power forward. So they're just going to go athletic. And if he can't slice it in the ice, no. If he can't cut it in Alaska, they're going to have Taj Gibson and Kenneth Faried there. Rajon Rondo, point guard. So, I mean, he's a veteran who's been there, done that. Kevin Porter Jr. This Alaska team looks pretty good. I'm predicting good things for the Chill.
The Houston Lawmen look like they're going to be pretty dang good on offense as well. Colin Sexton taking the next step. CJ McCollum. Iguodala being that veteran presence. Paul Millsap can score. Clint Capella getting down low, getting dirty. I like this team. I really do. I mean, they've got some really good players with 85, 82, 87. And Sexton is on the rise.
Yeah, DJ Augustine will be their 6th man. Question for Iguodala is, I mean, he's getting up there, age 35. So, as far as a small forward, I don't know who they have outside of Mamute. Maybe Malik Monk. No. So I don't know. Yao Ming though is coming back to Houston. So his knees were healthy, or his ankle, or whatever it was that caused him to early retirement. But Yao Ming is back in Houston.
Wisconsin Bandits, I don't know how I feel about this team. Again, I just think that it's all Joel Embiid right now. Like, there's nothing else going on for him. I guess you could say that Jaylen Brown is the guy and Terry Rozier. I got nothing.
So, well, I don't know. I mean, Rozier's going to have to be their point guard. I mean, unless Jalen Brunson gets better this year. But, James Johnson is pretty good as their 6th man. And you got J.R. Smith as a veteran. Bogut's a veteran. They got Zipser. They got Theo Maledon and Smalajic. Maybe. So, you don't like this team, huh?
No.
For Phoenix, the hope here is to get Lonzo Ball. Because we know he's not an amazing shooter. Get him dishing it to Devin Booker and make offense happen. That's the game plan here for Phoenix.
Sprinkle some Lonzo Ball magic.
There you go. They got Middleton, Lyles, and Adebayo. Backup point guard will be JJ Barea. So again, he's kind of in that passer mode. They got Denny Avdija from Israel, so he's playing. Mike Scott, Kleber. They got Brown Jr., Shumpert. So I don't know. You can Booker, Middleton, and Ball. Is that a good enough trio to make noise?
I think it is. I really do. I think it is. I think that Booker's going to be schemed open. They're going to find ways to get him open. I think Chris Middleton is a good player. They can do that. The San Diego Cyclones, to me, seem like the Oklahoma City Thunder of old with Russell Westbrook. He did everything for that roster, for that team, for that franchise, and now he's going to have to do the same thing again. He's getting up there in age. He's probably getting sick and tired of doing this, but he's going to have to do it again with Hoyter, Batum, Carmelo Anthony.
Carmelo's back playing. They have him at power forward. So, I mean, that's listed as the second position in this game. So, do you think Carmelo has any gas left in the tank? Can he play any defense at all at that position in this league when you got some athletic, powerful power forwards in this league?
I think he can hold his own. I mean, he's Carmelo Anthony. He's learned some things throughout his process of being in the NBA, but I just think, again, it's all going to come down to Russell Westbrook. He's going to have to shoulder the load of this team again.
Yeah. Well, if the Carmelo thing doesn't work out this year, they do have Sabonis who can play power forward, and then move Alex Len to center. Bender, I don't know what to expect from Bender. They got Hood and Napier along with Seth Curry. So they have a little bit of offense on the bench. Royce O'Neal, Bruno Fernando, Darius Baisley, who I'm moving there, get some minutes maybe. But, yeah, I think you're right. Westbrook has to shoulder the load again.
California Dragons, I feel like they're also very super athletic. Kemba Walker is a really good point guard. Bogdanovich can shoot. They got Justice Winslow and Aaron Gordon. So those two guys right there are probably their more athletic people on this roster. And then when you have Kemba Walker mixed in, I think they're going to be a pretty solid team too.
Yeah, you got Plumlee, Ron Baker's getting in there, Jakob Poeltl, Tyler Johnson, and Connaughton. So
their bench leaves a little bit to be desired there. But
so they got Baker, Johnson, Connaughton, Trey Burke. So that's where they think the offense is coming from. They got Precious Achiuwa, who's their young dude there. So as far as backup big man, they got Poeltl and they got Achiuwa and Paschal. So I think they're short a big man. Maybe they can address that, but I don't know what to expect out of this team. I really don't. San Jose, interesting. Fred VanVleet, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. They got Paul George teaming up with Kevin Love, and they got Steven Adams round 3. So how about that trio? Love, Adams, and George.
it seems like a win now type of mentality to me.
I mean, can VanVleet, is he going to take that step and become a great point guard in this league? That's what I'm interested to see.
It's, with a team that's ready to win now, they might be taking a chance on VanVleet at the wrong time.
Yeah. Well, they did get Anthony Edwards, who's pretty young, coming out early. And Brandon Clark is a rookie, so Archie Diacono. So they got a young bench here, like Zaire Smith. So I think he could probably move there. So, I don't know, man. Paul George, is he going to be good enough to lead a team on his own to a title? He's going to have to.
Normally when you see Andre Drummond on a roster, you don't immediately think that the team has very good offense. But when I look at the Seattle Martians, I think that they do have a good offense with Reggie Jackson, Eric Gordon, Jeremy Lamb, and Porzingis. This team's going to be able to shoot the basketball, make a lot of baskets, get people open. Andre Drummond getting the rebounds, Lance Stevenson playing some defense, Collison coming back, Marjanovic being the backup center. I think this team's going to be pretty good. It's just, again, it's gonna come down to Reggie Jackson's ability to just not take bad shots. He's going to have to learn and kind of settle himself down and say, hey, you know what? I don't have to be a hero ball. I don't have to do that. I can just be a point guard.
I think Porzingis is going to enjoy it in Seattle. How about the El Paso Peppers? You got Emmanuel Mudiay, who will start off the year as the point guard. James Harden, they're going to have him at shooting guard. So then they have Hayward, Al-Farouq Aminu for defense, and then DeAndre Ayton. So they're hoping that Ayton blossoms into a top flight player. And James Harden is going to have to do everything, I think, offensively. They do have Kobe White, so they think maybe he can take over the point guard position. But it's important for Kobe White, I think, to get a good feel for James Harden.
I like that 1-2 punch with Hayward and Harden.
Yeah.
That's like my one big takeaway with this. Their bench leaves a little to be desired again.
You don't like Facundo Campazzo? How about Kevin Garnett?
I really don't know much about Campazzo. I will be completely honest.
Kevin Garnett.
But Garnett coming back is pretty funny.
He came out of retirement, age 44,
Yeah.
to be a backup power forward in El Paso and log 6 minutes a game, just because he wanted to wear that El Paso Pepper uniform with pride. That's all that's about. Chandler Patterson,
I would
CJ
do
Miles.
it. I would totally do it.
So they do have some vets here on the bench. Patrick Patterson as well. So this is a veteran bench. James Harden, this is your chance. Go out there and win a title on your own.
One of my favorite teams in all of the XBA, the Washington Founders. When I look at this roster, you know what I think of immediately? Offense. Elite offense. Dennis Schroeder, Buddy Hield, DeRozan, PJ Tucker can do
He's defense.
a little bit of everything there, but yeah, mostly defense.
He's a lockdown defender. And then you got Enos Kanter, who can hold his own at the center position. So yeah, this front court here can score. I mean, Schroeder hasn't had a, I think this opportunity could be good for him, in a kind of a diluted league, shoulder more of an offensive load and just be the man at point guard. So I think he and Hield should score a lot in this league. So then you got Hardaway, Rashawn Holmes, Vonleh, Alonzo Trier might benefit in this offense. You got Jake Lehman, Ish Smith maybe. Let's see what Ish Smith can do as the number 2. You got Nick Kalithis out of the Euro League. So what do you think about Washington? Are they a threat?
They're very top heavy.
Yeah.
They're very top heavy. I think that they're just going to have to run those guys out there every single game and get as many wins as they possibly can, because that starting 5 is really good. And I think that they can make some noise, but you have to keep the ball in those guys' hands. Don't allow the bench to give away games for you. Let's make some predictions right now. What do you say?
Yeah, let's do it.
So in the Western Conference, we've already taken a look at all the rosters. In the Western Conference, if we just scroll down a little bit, because I want to see all the teams one more time. And I'm going to predict who's going to win the Western Conference and who might have a chance to go all the way. And I don't like Wisconsin.
No.
I don't like San Diego.
You don't like Las Vegas.
I'm not a fan of Las Vegas. I think Dallas is pretty decent.
I probably wouldn't pick... Oh, that's funny. I have it selected on the Barons. Completes his head right there.
Oh, they cut his head off.
Check that out.
That's pretty cool.
I think the best roster in the West would either go to Seattle or my pick is Seattle. I'm going with the Martians.
It's pretty weak. I would definitely go with Seattle. I think that St. Louis, my team, my user team, has a great shot. We're very well balanced and young.
User advantage.
But
no, I mean, I don't know if Seattle would get the 1 seed, but they would be my pick outside of maybe St. Louis to get out of the Western Conference. So who do you think's going to win the West? Take yourself out of it.
Yeah, I'll take myself out of this. And plus, I can lose some games too. I mean, it's not out of the question. We're going to be doing a lot of simulating too in this.
Yeah, you might not even make the playoffs.
I very well might not be able to make the playoffs. But, I'm going to go with Vancouver. Vancouver looks pretty good as well. And Seattle. So those would be my 2 picks to have a chance at getting out of the Western Conference.
Okay. Now the Eastern Conference, I'm liking Tampa Bay. I think the East looks better to me.
It looks better
because I like Miami, New York, Tampa, and maybe. Yeah, I think that would be it. I'm gonna pick the Neon. So my NBA Finals, I have it being the Neon and the Martians.
That's actually pretty comical to me. Yeah.
So who you got?
I do like the Neon as well. I think that they're really good. LeBron James, I don't think he's going to make it. Baltimore, don't sleep on Baltimore. Baltimore's pretty good. Tampa Bay, though. They've got a really good roster with Kyrie up there. I'm gonna say the Sting.
You're gonna go Tampa and Vancouver?
I'm gonna go with Tampa Bay and Vancouver.
Okay. Sting in the Vortex.
How random is that?
It's whatever happens is gonna be pretty freaking random.
This is the XBA.
Yes, parity reigns.
So with our predictions out of the way, make sure you guys are also offering your predictions in the comment section below. I love reading your guys' comments. I want to know what you guys are feeling about each roster. Who's your team? That's the other one too, is I want to know who your guys' favorite teams are. Maybe you have a top 5. Maybe you like all the teams. I don't know.
Yeah. And if you have any suggestions, things you want to see in this franchise, we would like to hear it, because, you know, we're going to do our thing, but, you know, we're all ears. So if you guys throw out ideas that we think we can incorporate, let's hear it.
Yeah, and most of the time this is going to be a simulation-based dynasty. We will have, obviously, gameplay against CPU versus CPU, user teams, matchups that we think are cool for users, Jacksonville Jump, St. Louis Arrows, those types of teams. We're going to show those games. The games that we're going to show for Monday. So upload schedule will be on Mondays and Thursdays for NBA 2K20 MyLeague expansion. And the games that we're going to end up showing on Monday will be the Dallas Barons, the Baltimore Cannons. So that's going to be the first game that you guys see. Alaska Chill with Giannis against the Neptunes and Kawhi. So that'll be game number 2.
Kawhi's got something to prove after getting snubbed to number 3.
That's very true. And then game number 3 and game number 4 will be...
We have Houston at San Jose. So the Lawmen at the Cyborgs. The Jump will go at the Neon. So we're already talking up the Neon like they're going to win the Eastern Conference. And Jacksonville's going to take them on the road. So Columbus at Phoenix we will also have for you. And then the next day, St. Louis's opener will be at the Night Owls.
I think that's 6 games. I think that's a total of 6 games on Monday's upload. So if you guys are excited about the XBA and this series, leave a like, because we've got a ton of games to show you guys. And keep in mind, we are opening up contests for this series. We like to run contests throughout the season through a lot of our series on YouTube, and this series is no different. So would you like to talk about the contests?
Yeah, I'll go over it really quick. It's basically going to be like a big prop sheet. So if you guys don't know what that is, yeah, I mean, we're going to be asking questions that could go yes or no. Like yes or no, is James Harden going to score 25 or more, 24 or fewer? You guys pick the correct answer, and they're all going to apply to the games that we see. So they're not going to be any off-screen games. So hopefully it'll keep you guys interested. You can play week to week, so there are no season-long winners. The whole thing is weekly. So if you miss a week, oh well. You can come back the next week, play it, and try to win. So what do you win every week? You get a ticket into the final round. So if we have maybe 10 episodes where we have our contest, whoever wins gets into the finals. And you can win more than once. So let's say Gold Glover 9 plays the game and he wins weeks 1 and 7. He gets 2 entries into the finals. So he will be able to submit 2 different pick selections. So I think it'll make more sense as you guys go along, and we'll help you guys through it and explain it. So I know it's a little different than our college football one, but
yeah, it's totally simple. It's a simple concept. If you win on the form that you submit, you earn a ticket into that final round to eventually win the final prize. But
I don't know if we're gonna have multiple winners. It's gonna be hard. You're gonna be picking against a lot of people.
That's very true.
But the good news is, if you miss a week, you forget, whatever, come back the next week. You can win again. So I think that'll be fun. I hope everybody will enjoy that. So guys, remember to get your custom draft class players in. I think we're gonna take, how many do we want to take? 30?
We take 20 in NCAA football only because that's all that they allow. I know with 2K, if we're able to do this type of thing, they're probably going to allow you to do every single player. That's going to be really difficult unless somebody wants to help us out on it. I'd say for right now, until we might be able to get help to actually make a roster, I would say right now we could make 30. I'd say 30 is good.
It's a lot of work, but this whole series was a lot of work, so I hope you guys like it.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. It actually took us an entire year, basically, to get this thing done. So hope you guys appreciate the hard work. If you didn't like any of the logos, sorry. Not sorry. It took a lot of freaking work to get this thing done. So guys, and if you do like the series, like the concept, likes the content, make sure you hit that like button. And if you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that red button for a subscribe, or my logo on the bottom right hand corner to do the same thing. And we will see you guys on Monday and Thursday for each and every upload of NBA 2K20. See you guys then. As always, peace.